Hello everyone. Welcome to your daily dose of World of Warships Legends shenanigans. I am, of course, your host tonight, Phoenix61. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, guys. I appreciate that. And today, we are in the Dunkerque, right? So this is a Tier 5 French battleship that you don't see out on the seas too much. I think it's fine. Like, I know some people don't like it, some people think it's great, but right, like, I think it's fine, right? So we'll have a decent game here today, right? We've kind of got the shrunken down variant of, you know, this map here, right? Which is fine. We are at Tier 5. That's pretty common that happens. And of course, we run into a destroyer player that wasn't quite ready to start moving, so we almost ran into him, but that's fine. And then we get spotted here, which means we know that there is an enemy destroyer, most likely pushing hard up into, you know, towards us, right through the zones. So we're gonna have to watch our angling, right? Typically, like a lot of times, I'd like to get myself, you know, repositioned here in the beginning, but at this point, we're not even going to be able to do that. So we'll have to sort of commit to this sort of kiting away position, right, angle away, and point our guns, you know, back behind us as best we can, at least for the time being this early on in the game, right? So nice broadside Pensacola out there, so we'll see if we can get our guns loaded in time to shoot at him. No indication that we're going to hit the mountain there, so I took the shot, and we'll see how it goes. I think I may needed to have like led him a little bit more, yeah, and then in which case we might have hit the mountain anyway. So kind of a whiffer there. Königsberg looks like he's going to do something similar here, so we'll maybe get a second chance at him. And then we've got a Tiger out there, right? So their team does seem to be kind of bunching up and moving forward all along that, you know, bunching up behind that island there. So as we continue to move out, it's going to make our angles and our shots better and better against these guys, right? So then if we're not going to take any fire, right, nobody seems to be picking on us or shooting at us, so we'll take advantage of that and try and get a little bit closer and move in a little bit more, right? We are a battleship, and I kind of always preach this on my channel, right? If you get most of the way through the game and you're a battleship player and you haven't hardly taken any damage, right, you're probably doing a little bit of a disservice to your teammates by not drawing some fire. Of course, you don't want to get yourself in a situation where you're just getting focused fire like that Tiger did, right, on the enemy team, right? He came up so much and was drawing so much fire that everyone on our team kind of picked on him and he's the first one out, right? So just balance. It's all about balance, right? So, but we'll continue to move around the flank here because as we continue to get lucky and no one really seems to care we're out here, we'll take advantage of that, right? We'll press the advantage. We'll pick on cruisers when they turn broadside for us, see if what is this, third or fourth time's a charm to actually get a good chunk of damage on a cruiser. Nope, all over pens again. So you could argue I probably should have been using HE at this point for just not learning my lesson shooting these cruisers here. But as we get a little bit closer, maybe we'll get a little bit luckier. We'll see here. But yeah, we're gonna have to keep an eye on the minimap. Lots of enemy ships coming around outside out there on this side of the map, so just gonna have to pay attention there. I think now at this point the overpens might not even matter. We should be able to finish off this Pensacola. Yep, all overpens, but it was enough to get the job done. So we'll continue to move up, and if we need to get to a point here where we need to kite away, turn away, right, we'll try and time that appropriately, right, when people aren't shooting at us. But I'm still looking at this like, these guys aren't looking at me, so let's just keep going, right? So New Mexico, he's turning away. Mahan, we're going to take this shot at him. Just trying to be patient with myself for once in my life, right, going after a destroyer. Then I did switch to HE finally here. We did get one overpen, that's fine. We'll take what we can get when shooting a destroyer. And then we'll try to make an assumption, like, right, like he's the very high likelihood that he's sending torpedoes our direction, right? So I'm going to slow down, right? You notice I hit full reverse, and then I'm going to turn in towards him, right? We're going to assume he sent torpedoes. I say this all the time. The real trick to dodging torpedoes is to start dodging them before you see them. So we're just going to assume that he sent them and adjust our course. We now have the HE loaded. We'll see if we can trigger some fire on New Mexico. Nope, no good there. Then I'm going to hold off on the damage con here just in case there were torpedoes from the destroyer. There they are. So we made the perfect call there. And then I did switch back to AP since this New Mexico looked like he was going to sail broadside to us, so we'll see how this goes. see if we can do some actual damage here. We are up to 33,000, which is like still like respectable, right? Just weren't getting the big hits that we wanted. And there we go. There's one. So almost doubled our damage output there. Do get a destroyer player here trying to drop smoke for us. If you do that, like the you know, always appreciate the intent, right? Like, but like in reality, as a battleship, your smoke firing penalty is so terrible as it is anyway, right? So we'll go unspotted for a second here, but once we fire our guns, we're guaranteed to get spotted again no matter what anyway for the, you know, 20-second duration penalty that's there. And then, yeah, the Königsberg was broadside to us. We finally did get a Citadel hit on him. He does not have much health left either, so the Acosta was kind enough to finish off the last little bit that he had. And then the Ranger is going to get picked up here as well. So we've got a couple of targets to choose from. And we can kind of start moving up as well here too, because, well, it's just this Ranger and the Battleship. And then their last destroyer is kind of going and trying to hunt down our carrier, it looks like. So we'll move up. We'll see if we can help get the zone cap. We'll see if we can help get rid of these last two ships. And see if we win the game with just that alone, right? Oh, and by the way, you can autopilot your carrier, guys. I know you guys make, like, I get made fun of by some of you guys every time I say that, but, like, the reality is, like, this carrier player, this Ranger, looked like he was sitting at his spawn point, and, you know, until he got spotted, right? So, like, I think that's, like, you know, like, the rookie carrier player, right? Yeah, nice, good hit there. The rookie carrier player leaves his ship there the whole time, right? And then there's the, like, the next level up, which is the guy that hits reverse, which is, like, that's still, like, that takes you further away from the action, right? Which just means more flight time for your planes, and so it's kind of harder to, you know, have a bigger impact if your carrier's sitting all the way in the back. But then, you know, you're less likely to get picked on like this and die, you know, die earlier than need be, right? But the real way to do it is, right, is kind of follow the bulk of your team around with your carrier, and you go into the map view, and you can hold X on any of the squares in the map view, and your carrier will just drive there automatically, right? So just remember that if you guys play carrier, right? I still to this day see so many carrier players just sitting there, and then sometimes it's like very obvious that they're manually driving their carrier, which, like, there's a reason to do that here and there, right? Like you're trying to, like, dodge torpedoes or something when you really get yourself into a situation, but for the most part, if you use the autopilot appropriately, right, you should be able to move around the map and remain, you know, undetected for the most part for most of the game, and still have your ship in a good position to be able to be impactful with the planes, right? So, but carrier is gone, and then we're going to focus on this Congo. I've got HE loaded for him since he's bow into us, right? So not going to do too much with AP, although it would still be fairly effective, right, to aim high and hit superstructure, but do a good chunk there with the HE shells. We helped get this zone capped, and we're up over 120,000 damage, so it's working out pretty good for us so far. Got two little destroyers shooting pea shooters at this guy here, trying to see if they can get credit for the kill here. So we'll take our last salvo here, and that'll get rid of him. And then we will go destroyer hunting. Kind of trying to think, okay, yeah, he did get picked up. So he fired his guns. The Anshin fired his guns, right? So we know where he's at. He's heading towards the ACAP. So we'll start heading off in that direction. I think, like, I don't know. I think he may just suspect, like, you know, take me, right? This game is over. Like, let's just get this over with and start, you know, shoot your guns, get a last little bit of damage, right, before the game ends. You do what you can. And, of course, my impatience did a lot more damage to that island than we did to the ship. So, but yeah, we'll keep moving up. See if we can help with him. Yeah, I don't know, like, I mean, it's possible to win, right? Like, it's, you know, you could take on the force, right? You could push into the ACAP, just remain undetected, and then just, you know, if, you know, for example, I kept pushing up here, right, I'd be susceptible to torpedoes and not being able to see you, right? So, I don't know, it's doable, but it's tough, right? So, I don't blame this guy for just, you know, going to town and just trying to get as much damage as you can right at the end here, right? But yeah, all of us are going to start to become, get in range of him and be able to shoot him, so. If you wanted to go, like, higher XP earnings, right, you could try and sneak into the ACAP and just get the capture on it too, like, who knows, but yeah. I tend to take this guy's route and just try and, like, let's have fun. Like I know the game is lost, let's have fun with it, right? So pretty good dispersion there and managed to land a lot of shells and finish him off. So we will take a look at the leaderboard here. And then I will go through the commander build as well. 134,000 damage in the tier 5 Dunkerque isn't half bad, and that puts us at the top on the leaderboard with 2,800 XP. We'll take that action as well. And almost 500,000 in silver earnings on the economy tab here also, so that's always nice to bring that home. And yep, since we're here at tier 5, we only got the 2 mod slots, so yes, I'm using aiming system as typically my go-to, right? Like, you could, you know, you do you here, right? Like, aiming system's kind of my way to go. It doesn't really have the best secondary batteries. You could go traverse speed, but honestly, I think it's totally fine. And then for slot 2, I'm using propulsion mod. I know some people like the steering gears a little bit better. I typically prefer propulsion mod, right? And then catapult fighter, I would go with the since the meta had changed quite a while back now. At this point, I would go with the spotter plane for the better dispersion. And then, yep, base trait for this guy is AP shell damage, and we're kind of going all out main gun accuracy and AP shell and range. Kind of my style here. This is free to play commander. I forget who this is. We've got this high sorcerer Baradin, Commander Geis on here, right? But yeah, you do you. I think anything on this third row is a good choice, right? So pick what you're interested in, right? I'm going for range on row 4, and then I've got will to rebuild on the legendary perk. But I know a lot of people, are just huge into the fight fire with fire, right? So if you don't like getting fire spam, that's the way to go. But yeah, that is going to be our Dunkerque video for the day, guys. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. And again, like I always say, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I do appreciate that. And then we occasionally hop on live stream just for fun, a lot more relaxed environment with me on the live stream. I kind of play whatever ships people are interested in seeing me play and just kind of have fun, chit chat and all that other cool fun stuff, right? So make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and we do videos like this just about every day as well. So we'll see you guys tomorrow.